the house at the end of yesterday. Every village had its oddities, but in Merriwick, everyone agreed on one thing. The house at the end of Yesterday Lane wasn't merely old, it was remembered. It stood crooked and quiet beneath a ceiling of ever-drifting mist. Its windows clouded as though the house itself were still trying to wake from a very long dream. Children whispered that if you walked past it at dusk, you could hear footsteps inside, pacing slowly, patiently, as though waiting for someone who never arrived. Eloise Trevelyan never meant to stop in front of it. She had only returned to Merriwick to settle her late mother's affairs, but as soon as she stepped onto Yesterday Lane, something tugged at her, an ache behind her ribs, a whisper of a memory she couldn't quite catch. She paused at the rusted gate, iron twisted with vines so old they had grown into the metal like veins. The air around her shifted, cooled, thickened like the moment before a forgotten song begins. Eloise frowned. She had never visited this house before. She was sure of it. And yet, her heart beat with a strange familiarity. The front door, weather-worn and bowed, creaked open on its own. A gentle invitation. A soft warning. Eloise stepped forward. Inside, the house smelled of dust, lavender, and something faintly sweet like apples baked long ago. The floorboards groaned under her feet, but soft, almost relieved. Afternoon light drifted through the windows and slanted, golden strands thick with swirling dust motes, as though time hung suspended in the air instead of passing by. Something brushed her shoulder, a breeze? No, there were no open windows. "Eloise," a whisper. Her breath shuddered. The voice was familiar, achingly familiar yet impossible. She turned toward the staircase. A shape stood at the top, not a person. A silhouette, woven from light and memory, flickering like an old film reel. It was tall, slender, shoulders slightly hunched the way her father's had been in his final years. "Dad?" she whispered. The figure didn't move, didn't descend, just watched her with eyes she couldn't see but somehow felt. The house sighed. Something pulsed beneath the floor. Eloise grasped the banister and climbed. Each step felt like walking through thickening honey, the air warping around her, bending like heat haze. The closer she got to the figure, the more it dissolved, until, at the top, it vanished completely, leaving only a faint scent of his aftershave. She stumbled into the nearest room. It was her childhood bedroom, exactly as she'd left it. The lilac walls, the wooden horse carved by her father, the frayed quilt with stitched stars her mother had made, everything. Time hadn't touched it. Her breath hitched, sharp and painful. She touched the quilt, and the entire house seemed to inhale, then exhale. A wave of sound washed over her footsteps, laughter, the clatter of dishes, her father's deep humming, her mother's soft lullabies. Memories she had buried in grief came rushing back with brutal tenderness. The house wasn't haunted. It was remembering. And it wanted her to remember, too. The floorboards trembled, guiding her toward the mirror. Dust swirled as she wiped the glass. Her reflection wasn't alone. Behind her stood the faint outlines of her parents, no longer flickering but steady, warm, impossibly present. Her mother's hand rested on Eloise's shoulder, not warm but felt. "You shouldn't have come back alone, sweetheart," her mother whispered, lips barely moving. Eloise spun, tears streaking her cheeks. "You're gone, both of you. You can't be here." Her father smiled softly. "We aren't, not really. This house holds what you couldn't bear to lose." The walls pulsed again, as though agreeing. "Why show me this now?" she choked out. Her mother stepped forward and the room brightened slightly. "Because you're ready. Because grief held you still." She brushed Eloise's cheek, her touch feather-light. "And you can't live your life backward." The floor beneath them thrummed, a heartbeat made of oak and memory. The walls shimmered. The bed frame dissolved into motes of golden dust. The room grew brighter, lighter, until the edges of everything blurred. "The house is letting go," her father said gently. "No," Eloise whispered, clutching at him even though he wasn't truly there. "Don't leave me again." Her father cupped her face, his thumb passing through her skin like smoke. "You're not losing us. You're freeing us." The room cracked with light, warm, blinding, pure. And the house exhaled one final time, a soft, hollow sound, like the past unspooling. When the glow faded, Eloise stood alone in an empty, bare chamber. The walls had lost their color. The furniture was gone. A thin layer of dust covered everything. The house had released its yesterday. And so, she realized slowly, had she. Eloise walked down the stairs. The front door was open again, sunlight spilling across the threshold like a new beginning. She stepped outside, turning once to look back. The house faded, cracked, quiet seemed smaller now. Just a house. Just wood and stone in empty rooms. But as she closed the gate behind her, she heard a final whisper. "Thank you." Eloise didn't look back. She didn't need to. With the warmth of memory settling into something steady, something she could carry without breaking, she walked down. Yesterday leaned toward the rest of her life.